Today's episode is called the governance stack. The main idea, governance isn't a product, it's a 4-layer architecture you assemble. So one thing to understand, you cannot buy a governance agent or just say, okay, I'm going to go to someone and they will sell me governance for my AI agents. The thing you need to understand is that governance is an architecture. It's a layered architecture you assemble yourself. And each layer is answering a question that the layer below cannot. So it's 4 layers, bottom to top. So the first layer is what we call instrumentation. Your code, your agent code, is emitting structured spans, one for every LLM call, also one for every tool call, and one for every agent step. So this is OpenTelemetry's GenAI conventions. It's answering one question. Did we capture what happened at all? If the code is silent here, nothing above this layer can exist. So we need the code to throw something to create certain trace. This is the basics of our governance layer. Next up is the telemetry stream. So those spans flow out to collector and the backend. This is the observability layer from episode 2. You have dashboards, traces, latency, token counts, all the information that you need. Here we are answering, can we see what happened? But seeing is not judging, of course. As we have discussed in previous episodes, this layer has no norm. A fully observed trace can be fully wrong and still show green. This is something that we discussed in previous episodes in detail, of course. That's the observe, but do not act gap. And it's why we keep climbing in our architecture. After that, we have layer 3. This is the innovation that we have here. And it's coming from process mining. So you have the validated log, which is coming from the telemetry that we convert with case ID, activity, timestamp, and you have, of course, one row per step. Then you validate it. Is it complete? Are the steps correctly ordered? Is every event attributed to the right run? Are the activity labels consistent? Here we are trying to answer, is this record trustworthy enough for the judge? And finally now, is the conformance. This is the top layer. So you check the validated log against the norm. Norm is a reference model. The reference model is basically what should happen, what should the agent do. This is what we call conformance checking. This is answering the question from episode 2. Did what happened match what was supposed to happen, if you remember well? And it catches the silent failures from episode 3, which was about the failure modes of agents. And this is finally where the value appears. One thing to notice, of course, is that the value is here, like this is the value, the top layer, and it's resting on all of these layers being well coordinated, well implemented, of course. Now, if you remember our example from episode 1, we're gonna go through it step by step. Basically, if you go at the first layer, at the instrumentation layer, you're gonna get your span. After that, you're gonna go to your telemetry layer, and you're still gonna get all green, all dashboards, or everything is clean. After that, we convert them. You have case ID, run ID, activity, with the timestamps and everything, and the span starts here. Here you have the span that's starting. Of course, you have your 2 searches, but still, as a log, it's valid. This is a valid log. So there is nothing that's gonna be flagged on this layer. Only in the conformance layer and the governance layer, we're gonna flag that there were 2 searches. So here, all we're gonna say is, yeah, this is a valid log. But here, we're gonna say problem. This is gonna flag a problem. And the idea is that the redundant second search is gonna trip the rules and it's gonna be flagged as a violation. So the same run that was invisible in episode 2 as a dashboard is finally caught in this layer. Now, let's say we skip layer number 3, because Here, of course, you could say, yeah, why don't we just do the conformance from here and there is no problem? Well, there is an issue there because we don't have a reference model and we don't know if our event log is valid or not. The traces that we have are a valid log or not. So let's say we skip it out. Here we have a problem. The problem is that you're gonna trust it, and even if this might give you validated while being wrong, you're gonna trust it. You're gonna trust it, and that's problem. So the validated log here is load bearing precisely because nothing above it can tell the log. So one caveat I need to mention. So this is not a product you install. You need to assemble it piece by piece. If you look at layer 1 here, sorry, I need to draw it well. So here, it's using OpenTelemetry. And here we're using PM4Py. That's an open library, open source, no problem. And we're using it for conformance. But layer 3, the one about validating the event log, and that's gonna take your live agent spans and emit validated event log. That gap is exactly why this channel exists, because there is no off-the-shelf library that does that, and that's open source. Of course, there are like Celonis and, if I'm not wrong, Signavio that offers something similar to this. But you need to understand the basics so that when these tools are there, or actually even to use these tools, you need to understand the basics to be able to use them. And this is why I made this channel, to be able to build a very good quality governance and conformance layer. So to walk you through my playlist and the plan of what I'm going to present, here you can see layer 1 to layer 3. These are related to all of these 3 points. And these will be the upcoming episodes from 5 to 9. We are at episode 4 to give you a reference. And also there will be a very important episode, which is episode 9, which is about validation. The must-watch, layer 4, is coming in season 3, which will be, I believe, maybe episode 12 or 13. I haven't planned that yet. And it will be an extension of the same stack. So it's object-centric process mining, multi-agent governance, which will prepare for season 4 here. So this, you need season 3 to do season 4. In season 5, you have every future episode about EU Act audit logging. You have real-time governance. These are also very important for the future. Now, one thing to remember is that in next episode, we go to the bottom and start building. So until now, we did more conceptual. We talked about explanations why we need process mining and how it could be useful for agentic AI. Now we start really building what we need to build. We will be talking about how agent traces are actually structured, spans, tool calls, and the GenAI conventions. You hold the stack in your head. This is very important. And you can place any tool, any vendor pitch on the right layer. And that need to be platform agnostic. That's very important in this age.